Liebe Leute, willkommen zurück zu Suzerain. Wir haben eine sehr tiefgreifende Entscheidung getroffen, nämlich das Medienkonsortium von Marcel Coronti zu zerschlagen und zu verstaatlichen. Ich bin mal sehr, sehr gespannt, was das für ein Backlash bringen wird. Wir haben dafür einen Staatsbudgetpunkt ausgeben müssen. Aber es sollte eigentlich auch wieder Mittel einspülen in die Kasse. Das Problem sind eher die politischen Folgen, die das haben kann. Kümmern wir uns erstmal um den Unified Education Language Act, den die National Front eingebracht hat ins Parlament. Und sie wollen, dass alle Bildungseinrichtungen in Sordland nur noch die sordische Sprache lehren. Will teach all classes except for foreign languages. Gut, es kann natürlich noch Fremdsprachenunterricht geben. In the official language of the country, unless they are given specific approval by the Ministry of Education. Universities, technical colleges and other schools that provide classes in any language other than Sordisch will receive a suspension of operations. Das ist natürlich totaler Blödsinn. Er will sogar Defunding Penalties und so weiter. Schließung von Schulen. Da werden wir unser noch existentes Präsidialveto gegen einlegen, weil wir, das richtet sich natürlich gegen die bludische Minderheit und die wollen wir nicht noch weiter auf die Barrikaden bringen. Zumindest nicht in dem Rahmen, wie das gerade stattfindet. Oder droht stattzufinden. Also, Veto. Nächstes, die Auswirkungen, die Ergebnisse der ökonomischen Direktive. Jetzt bin ich sehr gespannt. Coronti ist anwesend und Tusk ebenfalls. Okay. With the nationalization decisions made, all that was left was for Sordland's two most prominent oligarchs to sign the paperwork, and so I called them both to the palace conference room. Lucian showed Marcel Coronti and Walter Tusk in. They sat across the table from me, leaving one empty chair between them. Walter was watching Marcel with a vile smirk on his face. Did you think you could go behind my back, boy? Oh man. Come on. I wouldn't be in my position if I didn't know how to play my cards right. Hey, du hast überhaupt nichts richtig gespielt. Die Regierung hat das entschieden. You still have a lot to learn. Now that Daddy isn't around to hold your hand. Shut up, Walter. Gentlemen, before the conversation is derailed further, Lucian moved over to Marcel and fanned out the agreement papers in front of him. Mr. Coronti, here's the agreement that pertains to the nationalization of HOS and the transfer of your shares to the state. He pointed to various sections and various pages of the document. You will need to sign here, here, and here. I won't sign anything without reading it first. He started going through the papers. When he finished, he turned back to the first page and went over the whole stack again, and again, and again. Gibt es ein Problem? I have to make sure I understand an agreement that takes my whole life's effort away from me. He started checking his pockets. I don't have a pen. Walter immediately produced a pen from his pocket and put it in front of Marcel with a toothy grin. The pen had a large Bergier steel symbol with the name of the company engraved on it. There you go. Marcel reluctantly signed the papers after letting out a deep sigh. My pen, please. Take your stupid pen. He turned to me, eyes blazing. You can't forget about getting re-elected, Mr. President. You can forget about. I will make sure it doesn't happen. Did you just threaten the President of Sordland? Ja, Walter, das hast du auch schon getan. This is ridiculous. Know your place, little boy. Mr. President, are you just going to stay silent in the face of these blatant threats? He needs to be punished swiftly. Walter, ey. Surely you can't let him speak to you like that. You son of a... Ich habe dir gezeigt, wozu ich fähig bin. Du wirst mich nicht bedrohen. Oder kein Grund für die Eskalation, er hat keine Macht mehr. Oh, das sind wieder zwei so Antworten, darum geht es mir ja überhaupt nicht. Der Typ ist mir persönlich völlig egal. Es geht um die Strukturen. Und so autoritär wollen wir auch nicht auftreten. Er hat keine Macht mehr, müssen wir dann leider sagen. I wouldn't underestimate what he can do, President. An animal is most dangerous when he's cornered. A man like Marceau would prove difficult in the future for sure. There is no need. Very well. See, Marcel, this is called graciousness and mercy. Dieser Typ, ey. Also eigentlich beide, ne? Aber two traits that you have never had. Your words don't work on me, Tusk. Mr. President, you are being played. Mark my words. One day he will turn on you as well. Ja, Leute. Natürlich, natürlich. Aber es geht mir auch gar nicht darum, ihn zu verschonen. Es war jetzt nur in dieser... Gerade in dieser Situation konnte ich nicht beides machen. I'll see you both in hell. Marcel packed his belongings and furiously exited the room, closing the door loudly. Walter followed shortly after. Ja. Media bias. The media in Sordland is experiencing organized interference from the state and private organizations. Ah, okay. Ja, gut, ja. Jetzt, wo wir sie verstaatlicht haben, können wir ja wieder einen Teil privatisieren, oder? Oh Mensch. Naja. So. HOS nationalized. Before leaving the heart of Sordlands, ex-CEO Marcel Coronti had released a statement titled "Freedom of the Press is dead in Sordland." However, there's an overwhelming wave of support from within the USP applauding the administration's decision. Okay. With HOS under control, public opinions are fully within our grasp. Ja, aber das wollte ich eigentlich nicht. Die Hollywood Post schreibt erstmal über die Nationalisierung. The government has announced changes to the ownership of one of the two largest private corporations in Sordland. Under President Rayne's new nationalization plan, the entirety of Heart of Sordland, including all subsidiaries and foreign operations, will now belong solely to the state. This move is expected to reduce the extraordinary amount of control the oligarchs have over the Sordish economy. The ex-CEO of Heart of Sordland, Marcel Coronti, has been silent on the matter and refrained from making any comments thus far. Aber das wird schon noch irgendwann auf uns zurückfallen. Drive-by shooting in Avery. Oh. Earlier today, a drive-by shooting happened, causing shops in the Avery city not only millions of Sordish rand and property damage, okay, but also human lives. The group of armed assaults has been recognized by the Ministry of Interior to be from the known crime family, the Skinner. Their target seems to be one of the shops from the Coranelli family. The Ministry of Interior has yet to announce how she will handle the matter. It is to be anticipated that the Coranelli family will soon retaliate, and we hope that the people in Avery City have prepared themselves. Ja, die organisierte Kriminalität ist natürlich weiterhin stark in England. Oh, es steht jetzt schon es steht jetzt schon die Abstimmung über die Verfassungsänderung an. Oh, ich fürchte, das wird nicht gut ausgehen. Straße zur Nationalversammlung. Serge was driving me towards the Grand National Assembly for today's historic vote. It was a big day. I wondered whether my attempt... Ich meine, vielleicht hat die Nationalisierung von HOS jetzt zumindest nochmal ein paar Stimmen aus der eigenen Partei auf unsere Seite gezogen. Mal sehen. I wondered whether my attempt at changing the constitution would end any differently than Alfonso's. Auch wenn es natürlich in eine andere Richtung geht. I looked out the window as the noise of the city diminished and saw that we were already inside the palace complex. The complex housed the buildings of all government branches and the center of Holsort. It was one of the biggest developments in Sordland. The Maroon Palace stood on a small hilltop surrounded by trees. We passed by the palace and entered the forest that separated it from the Grand National Assembly. We drove on the small road that wound through the forest. It was a warm day, so I rolled down the window. I could hear birds singing from the trees. Are you okay back there, sir? How are you doing? I'm as good as I can be, sir. Serge made a left turn out of the forest and entered the vast garden area of the assembly. Did you know that Mr. Tarkin's soul came to Holsort this morning? Oh. Ich meine, noch ist er Ehrenmitglied der Versammlung, ne? I heard some politicians talking about it today. Apparently this is the first time he's come to the city in the last 5 years. Und ich meine, das wollen wir ja auch abschaffen, diese Ehrenmitgliedschaft. I thought he left the mainland and lived on Duru Island, never to return back to politics. But they were saying he might be here to exercise his Member of Honor rights for the first time. Oh. Das ist ein Problem. That's great, maybe I'll meet him. Who was talking about that? I overheard several men talking about it around the gardens of the assembly, so I'm not sure who they were. It could just be rumors, of course. Do you think he's here about today's vote? Ja, weswegen denn sonst? I hope not. Yes, Serge, most likely. Well, I'm sure he will support you. Ich glaube wohl kaum. Ich glaube wohl kaum. Serge drove inside the gates of the parkway and parked the car. We have arrived. Ich meine, alles, was wir tun, ist den Solismus, um den Solismus zu überwinden, ne? Der will uns wohl kaum unterstützen. Thank you, Serge. Of course, sir. Good luck with the vote. I walked up the white stone stairs of the Grand National Assembly. The entrance looked like a temple gate from the classical era. The door opened to reveal vast corridors of wood and white stone. I joined the crowd of people who were walking slowly towards the parliamentary hall. Suddenly, I noticed Lucian emerge from the crowd of packed politicians in front of me. He looked relieved when he saw me. Ah, sir, there you are. Have you seen Vice President Vectern? He's nowhere to be found. Ja, wie immer, ne? Peter liegt wahrscheinlich irgendwo besoffen im Graben. Oder voll gekokst. Dass der Typ überhaupt Vizepräsident ist, ja unglaublich. Ich bin gerade erst angekommen. I hope Mr. Vectern arrives soon too. At any rate, how about yourself? Are you ready to finally face the assembly, sir? Wollen wir mit ihm darüber sprechen? Ja, ich denke schon. I've just heard something worrying from Serge. We'll address that later, sir. Come, we must go inside. Nein, wir müssen jetzt darüber sprechen, Lucian. We followed the crowd into the parliamentary hall. After we were inside, Lucian and I separated to take our assigned seats. I went up to the mezzanine overlooking the hall and sat down. I waited as the members of parliament took their places inside the hall one by one. After a while, I saw Gloria walk to her elevated seat at the center of the hall. Ladies and Gentlemen, und ich glaube, Leute, auch wenn das gerade erst 15 Minuten diese Folge geht, mache ich hier eine Unterbrechung, weil das jetzt ein super spannender Abschnitt werden wird. Diese Abstimmung über die Verfassungsänderung. Tut mir leid für den Cliffhanger, für die, die es später bei YouTube sehen, seht es mir nach. So könnt ihr euch noch mehr auf die nächste Folge freuen. Bis dahin wünsche ich euch wie immer alles Gute und bis dann. Euer Jan.